Mhm. And greetings, everyone. Welcome to CRWS Counter Racist Review on Atlanta Season 1, Episode 2, titled Streets on Lock. And the theme regarding this episode is I think the greater confinement, the concept we know as prison, and also the tragic, really telling tragic example of what it means to be classified as Black, the sort of situations one can easily find themselves in if one is classified as Black, and also is very confused about the planet that they are on. We saw that a lot in this episode. Definitely a lot. We heard Paperboy. He kept saying, "I hate this effing place." In regards to you know, the prison, the jail he was in. But if he was little, I decoded that as him, wanting, and the way he was saying was making me think, he's talking about like the whole, the whole world, because the whole world is a prison, especially if you're a Black person, the whole world is a prison. And I think if Paperboy was less confused, he would be able to, channel, that animosity, directed towards, the correct source. It's not just this one jail that he should be focused on, the entire planet. He should be focused on the people who are running the jail, the white supremacists, the racist man and racist woman. So really, really something that I got from this episode. And yeah, just really, really, I have a lot to say about this one. So I'm gonna pause there and see if folks want to chime in. Yes, confusion seriously is deadly. Yes, that is correct. Greetings, Boopo.
I agree on that. I hate this fucking place part. I'm like, you're supposed to, sir? Why would you think you're supposed to like being where you are? And the thing that stuck out to me, everyone is talking about their situation. They are not trying to determine, or they spent very little time, if any, determining how do I get out of this situation, or how do I solve this problem that I'm in right now. Everybody there is trying to entertain themselves instead of figuring out how do I solve this problem right now. And the speed at which everything turns into a terroristic situation also stood out to me.
Oh yeah, indeed. And I noticed like every like caricature of non-white person in this jail. And we got to like so-called Rastafarian, you got the older Black male. We have Black males of all um you know varieties. We even have a very, very, very confused Black male, what I'm going to refer to as a countersexual. And what these various, different kinds of Black males shows me, and what I decode that as is it doesn't matter what kind of Black person you think you are, Rastafarian, or a wise older Black person, or a countersexual. If you are confused about racism and white supremacy, it's so easy for you to wind up in greater confinement. How did this Black male right here end up in greater confinement in the jail? He tried to hang out with the fellow right here in front of him. I think I forgot his name, but he tried to hang out with the victim of racism in front of him, and then they got arrested for public intoxication because racist man and racist woman has set up a system where it's very easy for them to like stroll around in our areas that we dwell in and see us doing something that they say we shouldn't be doing, and now we're in their facilities known as the jails. So in the way he describes it, he very much understands like what happened, but he's not able to connect, this situation to him being in a system of racism, white supremacy, and also what Miss Action says, there's no how am I gonna like counter this? How am I gonna allow this and to not ever, happen again, and also no resolution with the person who's in greater confinement with, he's just goes to show that, for me, I think that's, the writer showing or whoever is trying to display, what it means to be Black. We have been trained to not work to each other, not work with one another. Even when we are in a prison, we're all captured in prison. We have still been trained to not work with each other. This is also what I'm getting from this episode. You would think that if we're all being like captured by the one, force has captured us, we're all trapped in the same giant prison. It will be very logical for us to want to, remove ourselves from this prison, and not further to harm to ourselves while we're in the prison. But racist man and racist woman are, masters of controlling us and what we're going to be doing. So here we are. Evolutionist is here. I was here. Oh, never mind. But anyone want to chime in?
I mean, to add, pretty much most of his frustration was to the actual Black male that he was with. It wasn't really anything of him trying to find a solution on getting out of this like type of situation. Like pretty much all his frustration was toward the Black male the entire time he was speaking to Earn about the whole story of him getting there. So again, he never really thought of any solution. It's just that his whole frustration was toward the Black male that he was in conflict with on being there. So just to add to that, that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Monsu, because that hey, yeah, that's how we've been taught to react to the system. We have been taught, yeah, we could complain about the things that happen to us, yes, but don't get serious about preventing those things from happening again. But don't get don't try to remove the source that causes these things in the first place. Don't get thinking like that. But yeah, we'll let you complain to one another. We don't want to hear about it, of course. We don't come talking to white people about your problems, especially about the race problem. But yeah, and situations like this, yeah, I think this is thank you for that, Tevin, because while you're saying that, I would have been able to come up with this. So yeah, this is how we've been taught. We are all we often share our frustrations on being mistreated, but very few.
I mean, basically, not one time did he say, "I'm never going to drink again." So I mean, it's just not one time like in his brain where it's like, okay, I'm never going to drink again. It's just he was just like I said, basically just frustrated toward the Black male. So, I mean,
Roger, thank you. What else was? Yeah. Also, just how we've been taught to just glorify just a culture that is very incorrect. It should not exist. Paper Boy shouldn't have to rap. He shouldn't have to rap about the things that he raps about. But he's in a system of race and white supremacy. So this is how he has to survive. But there should be no paper boys or no any person rapping or singing or dancing to any tunes or people being harmed in the background or violence is being promoted or images of Black people being harmed is being promoted. None of this should exist in a system of white supremacy. But here we are, and this the Black male right here, he has a lot of appreciation and affection towards Paper Boy, because probably this victim racism has few people to look towards for inspiration or anything that Paper Boy's so somewhat hero to him. But this is just our tragic condition and what's been done to us. And I really hope that made sense.
Yeah, I think it was tacky behavior from him. You know, the cop that was taking a selfie with him. Uh, of course, the victim female, where I'm guessing Paperboy was trying to uh, solve a problem where her son was like imitating him. So yeah, like I said, a lot of tacky behavior from the black people trying to idolize him as some type of figure when really he's just somebody that's just rapping. Pretty much he's basically trying to get out of his situation instead of staying in his situation. But they're kind of just glorifying it as if this is something to you know uh, live up to, basically. So I mean,
Yeah, and just this scene is just a hypocritical and just the tackiness of our interactions. Just we'll be one way, and then in the next second we're a totally different person because we have learned something about this person that may benefit us. We definitely have been taught to act like white people because that's definitely white behavior. Only wanting to associate oneself with somebody because you can benefit from them. This is what happened. First, when Paperboy was just a regular black male to the black female, or he was just a black male. But when he was Paperboy, the whole flip switch, so to say. And yeah, we definitely have been just trained to be very, very silly in how we interact with one another. And this scene is very a good example of that. At first it's like, shooting is bad to, okay, yeah, we could, take a picture with the person promoting killing black people.
And this whole episode to me, you see black people cheating in jail, like the guard said, fun time. Like talking about how, yeah, I saw him last week. And then only one person seems to observe that the black male needs immense amount of help, like the guy who's drinking water from the toilet. Um, but it was a very interesting episode. I agree. It did a great job at depicting how in reality, a lot of people do idolize and imitate rappers, and these little kids do walk around with like guns, not toy guns, like real life, like actual pistols with extended clips, waiting to shoot someone, waiting to slide on their ups and whatnot. Episode also, brought up the issue of anti-sex and homosexual behavior, and also just another confused victim. I mean, to me, I didn't remember this episode, so watching it again was very interesting. Um, Still very funny, very tragic. That's all I have to say for now.
Yeah, this scene with this black male is really important, and I think one of the most important scenes in the episode because we have a black male who a lot of person will easily call crazy. A black male who what Ernst says and what Serge just says, needs help. But what's happening? What's happening instead of him getting the help he needs? People are laughing at him. You know, people are mistreating him. And then when due to him being, so-called crazy, I would call it insane, due to him being insane, due to him being in a system of white supremacy, which is an insane system, when his insanity, behaves in a manner that is not funny for the victims or the prison masters, it goes from being tacky and trashy to what? Terroristic. Because as soon as the person who needs help didn't get the help that they needed, and then when did something, went out of line, basically he was abused, mistreated. So this is very telling. This is the condition of Black people globally. This is what it means to be Black. You are insane and you need help, and instead of getting the help you need, people are laughing at your misery, laughing at your insane programming that you've been given, laughing at you dancing and doing a number of things that we should not be doing at all. So this scene is really important, and I may be in error in the things I'm saying, but hey.
Yeah, I just basically just wrote down no help for this mentally ill person. So it was just that simple. I pretty much don't. The only person who pretty much looked as they were concerned was Earn. Everybody else was just watching for the entertainment, basically. So, yeah, no help for the mentally ill.
I also noticed the speed of the response from the other prison guards when the crazy person, so-called, did not get the help he needs. He spits the toilet water out at the white law enforcement official. Now there's action taken. Otherwise, they're just looking at him, watching him need help, not be able to communicate what type of help he needs. It's just, okay, this is not fun anymore. Now we're going to beat you. Instead of putting in, he needs to go to a mental, he needs to go somewhere where he can get constructive help, not prison or jail.
Exactly. Yeah, now the final I guess aspect is this part right here, like, because yeah, this is kind of like the final aspect we go into, area 8, sex. I remember watching this scene when it first came out, and when Ern said what he said about gender, how sexuality is a spectrum and whatnot, I was like, oh, okay, actually believed it, because it's sort of stuff that was told to me when I went to college, but I think the scene and what Ern said is just refined confusion. I think Ern is not correctly understanding what he's observing. He's seeing two very, very confused Black males, and I think something was very important that the Black male on the left said in the Black. He said, remember when my mom kicked me out, right? So his mom kicked him out. So probably when he was younger. So his mom kicked him out, and perhaps in his brain computer, it has, sabotage and damage him in a way where he doesn't even want, he doesn't see Black females the way he should see Black females, because the system of racism, white supremacy, it really does a wonderful job at doing its best to keep Black males away from Black females and Black females away from Black males. So if we have Black so-called mothers kicking out Black male offsprings, that can create a lot of animosity towards Black females. I suspect. I may be in error. I'm not a psychologist at all. I'm just trying to follow the logic, and I think that line, I didn't catch that line the first time I watched the episode, but I caught it the second time. But it's just yeah, the anti-sexual confusion is very tragic, and I haven't seen it solving the problems yet. Go ahead, Mr. Monsoon.
Yeah, like I said, him talking that spectrum, that was my first time hearing him even say that in this episode. I remember watching this episode plenty of times. Like pretty much this is my first time hearing him say the spectrum term, but also the Black male on the left tried to think that having sex with a transsexual is normal on the outside, when really it's just anti-sex. Either you're in jail or outside of jail. So, yeah, those are my two comments. Like I said, that was my first time hearing Earn talk about the whole spectrum thing. I was kind of shocked by that one, but yeah, no, it's not no spectrum. To me, it just sounded like he was
Oh
talking
yeah.
white. He was talking white, basically. Because I mean, I have heard white people say that a lot. Like, sex is on the spectrum.
And thank you for reiterating that and saying that. Like, yeah, this black male right here is talking about, when they do anti-sex inside greater confinement, it's not anti-sex. Oh, yes, it's anti-sex anywhere still on the planet. This is just, confusion, just retarded confusion we've been given and we've been taught to spread. Because I mean, it makes it, yeah, it just good catch, good catch. And the part with the I guess there's one more thing, to probably mention. In a system of white supremacy, when black males, black people in general, sometimes when they're being allowed to get more monies, um sometimes that may attract a lot of unnecessary attention, especially if one is flaunting that they're being allowed to have a lot of money. And Paperboy is definitely doing that with the jewelry and the watches and the existence he chooses to to partake in. So it's just dangerous. Attracting attention is dangerous. Especially if you're a black person, though. So don't seek to attract any attention unless it's constructive attention. You know. Any other?
Yeah, the two examples I got just from those two scenes. It was the scene when he was walking out the gas station, and then of course this scene. It just made me think of like Sean Taylor, Pop Smoke. Said these like individuals that have some type of status, with individuals classified as black see it as an opportunity to steal, let alone kill them, just to get some coins. But then next, they're in greater confinement after the fact. So that was my, thoughts on seeing those two scenes.
Correct.
What is with the Batman mask? That is
Yes.
literally on my note here. What is the dude with the Batman mask and the gray
I
sweatshirt?
have no clue, lady. I have no clue.
Is he scoping out where he lives so he can rob him? What is he doing?
It's open. It's open for interpretation, but that's where I'm led to believe. Yes, is that he's attracting unnecessary attention. Nobody unnecessary attention. And, yeah, yeah, very interesting. And Batman itself is a racist symbol. A yeah, but white Batman is a billionaire racist man. So I don't know what it can mean on this, on this black male. Him, emulating that. I don't know, him emulating a racist mentality of thinking he could go out and just take things from people, rob people. I don't know. That's what Batman does. But no clue. No clue. Just theories. And let me just, yeah, it's a really important scene. Oh yeah, and the older male, older black male, older, no one ceases to no longer be a victim of racism until the system is ended or until they no longer exist. So, that's why you see that old black male there. He should also be trying to solve the race problem. All right, I think we can get into closing comments. I'll start. I am not I don't have any I have no like background knowledge on the history of clothing or attires. I'm only familiar with racist attire, like the suits and whatnot. But there is the way he has been wardrobed is very suspicious to me. You know, someone I think someone has mentioned a eunuch before, and just the way he dresses, well, just his this attire, it makes me think of him being a eunuch, a person who has had their, you know, testicles removed, genitals removed, and they, yeah. And that's my final comment. Just something that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, my only like last note was him bringing up the whole thing about the food in prison being that it's uh genetically modified. So that was like my last note. But yeah, Darius clothing is in question with the whole unit thing.
Yeah, and made me want to revisit the earlier seasons. I suspected a lot of messages that I've missed over the years, but the episode primarily consisted of black males being tragically in jail, roaming about, acting silly, and Paperboy being a propaganda machine for anti-black violence. Um, I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, is this supposed to be funny? Because I think I only laugh because I'm quite plain trash. But I look
Same.
forward to more. Yeah.
The last thing I noticed in the episode was Van, her being stressed out. She's having to get her child up in the middle of the night. I don't know how late it is to go pick up Earn. She hasn't been paid rent from him. Now she has to bail him out of jail. And she has to take her daughter with him. And Earn is trying to help kind of relieve the tension in there, but it's not working. If you had been more serious, sir, she would not have to take your child, your offspring, excuse me, in the middle of the night. Instead of getting sleep, she's taking her to go pick you up for a decision that you and your cousin made. That's all I have to say. Nothing in here is happening the way it should because people are not being serious about the things they need to be serious about.
Thank you for that, Miss Action. That's why I like having a female on the broadcast, so we can folks can catch that as well, because yeah, the stress. Yeah, this is tragic. This is the tragic arrangement racism, white supremacy, has planned for all of us. How things should be between a black male and black female are not gonna be as they should as long as the system exists. You know, the best thing black males and black females to do is understand what's been done to our dynamic and counter it, and then counter the system of white supremacy. Because yeah, this I'm sure this scene is and this situation that is right now a fiction on the screen, but happens a lot. Happens a lot, I'm sure. And the only de-stressor of to racism is less confusion and a system of justice. But yeah, this is Atlanta is an excellent way to really see what's been done to Black people. I'm sure also Empire as well. I'm sure anything, any show that you can use to study the race problem. But
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. This show in particular, as just the scenarios, they give a lot to talk about, a lot of different stuff. You hit a lot of nails on one episode, talk about a lot of different stuff in one episode. Yeah. And then yeah, and it's so so in your face, racism in plain sight, how the warden came, the white man came, he was the one that got everybody serious, because if you're gonna be harming a person, serious business. So he's the one that got everybody serious when this happened. It took a white man to get everybody in line and quiet. White power. Anyways, thank folks for participating. Coco Jojo, thanks for participating as well in the chat. She said some people classified as Black that are confused tend to trust non-Blacks with information that could lead the Black person into legal trouble. If they weren't confused, they would know not to trust them. Correct. All righty. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll definitely be here again soon. Please like, share, subscribe, and share this information. Comment on it, because this account is definitely nigger banned, shadow banned, hard for people to find, but attempt to do a part in sharing this information.